some comments, feedback. So I very much hope that we're going to have a good conversation. And obviously towards the end, what we want to do is to give some recommendations, because obviously there's an administrative process and we will have to complete the form for the sake of the process, so that the university knows where the student is at the moment. So I'm going to pass on to, so what we are going to do, we are going to give the student probably 10 minutes to give us an outline of his PhD, where the student is at the moment, and then we'll follow up with questions, and later on there will be a short break for the discussion without the student, and then the student will going to reconnect, and we are going to give the student feedback and the recommendation. Okay?
Do you mind, Sam, if we do a little introduction, if you don't mind?
My apologies. Of course, let's do the introduction. Let me just say that I'm Dr. Sam Rashevsky. I'm the senior lecturer in the School of Business and Law. I pass on to Dilyara.
Okay, so hello everyone. Some faces are familiar, some are not. So my name is Dr. Dilyara Mingazova. I'm a senior lecturer in marketing. And we're brought in today to have a look at this annual review process. So nice to meet you all.
Great. Okay. My name is Dr. Godfrey Adaba. I'm Olu's second supervisor. I'm a lecturer in business analytics. Yeah. Toyin, I think you are on mute.
Thank you for that. My name is Dr. Toyin Koka. I'm also a lecturer in business management in the School of Business and Law. I'm the first supervisor for Olu.
Okay. My name is Oluwadam Larry Adeolu Ojowande. But for the benefit of the people that do not know how to pronounce the beautiful African name, you're obliged to call me Olu. I'm a first-year student of UAL University doing my PhD program. And I'm so excited to be here today.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Olu, and great to have two supervisors with you. So you have very good supervisors that they find time for this session. So you're very privileged to have supervisors with you here today. So Olu, would you like to give us an overview of your PhD? Perhaps you want to spend 10 minutes. Maybe you already have a presentation that you want to share with us.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, I have a presentation I want to share. Thank you. Before I share my presentation, let me just give a little background about myself and what I've been up to. I started my career with Newham College, where I studied business and enterprise before I moved on to Anglia Ruskin University, where I studied human resource and business management. And I was also the first student union president at London campus for 2 terms. And I proceeded to do my master's in international project management before I moved down to East London University. Now, I'm a project manager. I've been in this industry for a while, and I've contributed immensely in this industry. And due to my passion in this industry, that motivates me to come and do my PhD program and become an authority in my field. Since I've started this program on the 23rd of January this year, I've been involved in different seminars. And once again, I want to say a big thank you to the university for giving me the best lecturers in the world that support me in achieving a great milestone in terms of this project. And I've been going to different seminars in terms of development seminars, project management seminars, stakeholder seminars, organizational structure seminars. And this has pointed my eyes to the right direction in terms of research and writing my project. Today, I'm going to give a clear analysis about my set topic. These are my brilliant lecturers, Dr. Toyin Koka, Dr. Godfrey Adaba, and the mentee for the supervisors, Professor Keck. Now, here is the topic: project management and stakeholder satisfaction. Now, people will look at it, project management and stakeholder satisfaction. What's it trying to say? Now, I'm trying to bring the practical knowledge from the field of project management to the academic arena, mix it together to support other people that wants to get in this industry and to contribute to the existing academic knowledge. Now, let me give a little background about the last project I did when I talk about situational leadership in my program, because I'm still going to get to that point. Now, I've lead different projects in this industry, and I can remember when I get on board on one of the company I work with. When I get on board, what I try to do is to identify my stakeholders. And when I identify my stakeholders, I try to log into the RAID log. I saw that what log in the RAID log wasn't a risk, it was just an assumption. And yeah, I kicked in. I asked my project manager if he wants to make a change to his plan, what process does he go through? He said he was going to send an email to the programming manager saying he wants to make changes to his plan. Now, consider the fact that our plan as baseline, and I will expect also screen changes to go through change control process. With the help of my PMO manager, I started drafting all the key governance process, like the milestone process, the status gateway approval process, the status gateway approval process, the change control process, and the RAID. These are good stuff that project manager sees as a golden source of the truth that guide the programming office. Now, as a situational leader, what I do is to identify my stakeholders and delegate responsibility according to their strengths. Now, this is what prompts me to come in and write my PhD on project management and stakeholder satisfaction, and to contribute to the existing knowledge. Now, if you look at this diagram, it talks about the topic, it talks about the aim, it talks about the objective, it talks about the conceptual framework and the area focus. Now, let me move on to the research aim. The aim of this study is to investigate the influence of situational leadership styles on project management practice and the effect of project management success on stakeholder satisfaction. Now, if we look at this, you cannot exclude leadership style in terms of project. The leadership style will influence the management practice that will help all the stakeholders achieve milestone on the project. Like the last project I did on financial crime. When the regulators came into the branch, they saw some loophole in the system, and they gave us 3 months to get us sorted. If that is not sorted, we know what's going to happen to the organization. Now, I was brought in, and because I have that leadership style, when I bring all my stakeholders together, I saw that we need a BA to come and collect all the data we needed. A BA was brought in. I interviewed the BA. I see that the BA has the qualities that are needed to come in and collect all the data. He collected all the data. I have to delegate responsibility according to. And I deal with the governance of the project, because when you're looking at the project, you have to look at the internal stakeholder and both the external stakeholders, which I'm going to come to that in a minute. And this is the literature summary. This section will look at existing literature study that has been done on this project, and at the same time, it's going to look at situational leadership, and this is also going to give a clear definition of situational leadership. Now, it is recognized that the most effective leadership style depends on the specific circumstances and the maturity level of the team. You know, even Akim, Faiza, Mas Ada, they alluded to that fact. And I will also analyze my theoretical concept in this project. Now, this is the research objective. One of the objectives for this research is to explore the relationship between situational leadership styles and project management practice. The second one is to examine the impact of project management success on stakeholder satisfaction. The third one is to identify the factors that might enhance or reduce the efficacy and the efficiency of project management implementation. The fourth one is to suggest effective strategy for improving the implementation and delivery of project and enhancing stakeholder satisfaction. And the last one, this project is also going to develop a conceptual framework aimed at assisting organizations and stakeholders in the effective managing project. Here is the research question. Now, one of the research questions is, what is the relationship between situational management styles and project management practice? Because these we are dealing in terms of project management concept. And the second one is, how does project management success impact on project management satisfaction? The third one is, which factor might enhance or reduce the efficacy or efficiency of project management implementation? And the last one is, what effective strategy can be utilized in improving the implementation and delivery of projects and enhancing stakeholder satisfaction? Now I'll move on to the theoretical framework. Now, looking at the theoretical framework, I'm looking at stakeholder theory. This stakeholder theory is stated clearly. It talks about the internal stakeholders, and it also talks about the external stakeholders. Now, who are the internal stakeholders? The internal stakeholders are the employees, the managers, and the owner of the business. Now, who are the external stakeholders that we need to consider? We need to consider the suppliers, the society, the government, the creditor, the shareholders, and the customers. When we're handling a project, government policy changes on a regular basis. So these are part of factors that we consider in a project. So all these has to put into check before we start collating our stakeholders and determine how this project is going to go about. And also, we also look at social exchange theory, which this is part of what I get recently. I was given the best proactive staff of the year for my input in the organization, for coming up with innovative idea in improving the quality of the product in the organization. It talks about the reward. It talks about the cost and the profit. We all know that every organization wants to maximize their profit. By doing that, we are bringing stakeholders that are coming in to contribute effectively in improving the quality of the product in the organization. And here is the research gap. Now, according to Ellis, he said a research gap is a question or a problem that has not been answered by any of the existing study or research within your field. Sometimes a research gap exists when there is concept or new ideas that has not been studied at all. Now, there have been several studies of project management and leadership styles. But however, little or no research has linked situational leadership style to project management practice and to how project satisfaction impact on stakeholder satisfaction in one study. Now, if you look at this structure, when we talk about project management, in the context of project, now, if there is no leadership style that will drive the structure of the project will fail. The project is even dead on arrival. The leadership style of a project will determine the stakeholders that will come on board to work on a particular project, and it will determine the processes they will go through in a particular project. If you look at the other project I talk about the guideline I brought into the program, into the project, which I talk about the milestone process, the status gateway approval process, the rate process. These are good stuff that guide the programming office. Now, that is why all the literature I've read, all the journals I've read, there's no one that has brought all these together in one study. That is why I'm bringing these together in one study to contribute to the existing knowledge. Now, in terms of the methodology, I'll be conducting quantitative research. And the rationale for conducting quantitative research on stakeholder satisfaction is driven by several compelling reasons. That makes the approach highly suitable and valuable for understanding and addressing stakeholder perspective. Now, the justification for this, for choosing quantitative research approach, are embedded in the fact that it allows the systematic and the objective measurement of the influence of situational leadership style on project management practice and the effect of project management success on stakeholder satisfaction. Now, I'm going to be using a structured survey questionnaire, with standardized scale researchers. Researchers can obtain numeric data representing stakeholder satisfaction level. This data is driven approach ensure clarity and precision capturing satisfaction metrics. And I will proceed to the methodology. Yeah, like I said, I'm using quantitative research, which include primary research, and this involves raw data from a participant that has knowledge in my set topic, and I'm using purposive sampling, which okay, sorry, because I saw that someone left. That's why I'm using purposive sampling, and the questionnaire survey. The first section will investigate the influence of situational leadership styles, and is also going to cover the project management practice. While the last one will inquire into the effect of project management success on stakeholder satisfaction. And looking at the data analysis, I'll be using the SPSS, and it's also going to include the descriptive statistics and the inferential statistics. Now, going to the hypothesis, this project will test these hypotheses. And one, what is the relationship between situational management style and project management practice? Second, how does project management success impact on project management satisfaction? The third one is, which factor might enhance or reduce the efficacy or efficiency of project management implementation? Now, the last one is, what effective strategy can be utilized in improving the implementation and delivery of project and enhancing stakeholder satisfaction? Obviously, I'm going to be using a questionnaire to achieve that. And the relevance of this study holds a significant relevance for various stakeholders, including project managers, organization, and project team members, due to the following reason. One, enhancing stakeholder satisfaction, optimizing project performance, tailoring leadership and management approach, guiding leadership development and training, like I did in my previous organization when I came up with the governance of processes. Most of the project managers saw that this is too cumbersome. And what I did, I created a workshop where I talked them through the workshop. Oh, they said, oh, Olu, you've made life easy for everyone. So they see it as a golden source of the truth, and it's been embraced in the organization, and we achieve a lot of success in that field. Now, informing project management methodology and contributing to the existing knowledge in the field. Now, what this project is looking at in the future. Now, the project is bringing the practical knowledge in the area of project management into the academic arena to support students and to also support organization and also contribute to the existing knowledge in the field. Thank you. If there's any question, I'm down to answer the questions. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Olu, for very swift and detailed presentation, and also keeping the time. Very good time management. Now, let me just pass it on to our colleague, Tiliara, for questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Olu. Indeed, very good, very detailed presentation. So, so I looked at your document. I believe there was some document shared with me prior to the meeting. So I read carefully through your literature review, your methodology, and actually it was very good that you did this presentation because it's kind of outlines nicely. It's giving me a better understanding what is it you're trying to do. So my very first question is this. I think you mentioned the theoretical framework of your project being two theories.
Yes.
Right. So my question is, why is it only those two theories? And have you been thinking about anything else apart of the social exchange theory? Because stakeholder theory, I got it. I mean, it makes sense to have it. It's kind of the key for your research. But why only two? And is there any other thoughts or ideas? Because I'm understanding you started in just recently, isn't it? In August.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it? And so are you thinking about any other frameworks which might twist your research a little bit more?
Thank you for the brilliant question. Obviously, I just started, and these are the two theories I've noted down already. But you coming up with this other theory, it is something I'm definitely going to consider. And this is not her. But coming up with this, I'm going to look at other theories and include it to this to make a robust project. Thank you for the observation, ma'am.
Okay, brilliant. That's great. I mean, maybe when we be writing a report, I would be able to highlight some ideas which I had in my mind around this to help you a little bit. And again, this is just a form of recommendations, of course. Now, the other question, I actually forgot my first question I wanted to ask you. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm fine, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, that's very good, because I think that annual reviews should be very much about the student being, kind of. So it's good to hear that you're good. Okay, my next question is, again, kind of related to your theoretical framework, but I did actually look at, let's say it's not my area of expertise, but I did see some research around leadership and different leadership styles and stakeholders theory. So I read a little bit about it.
Yes.
My another question, have you ever, especially when I look at your methodology, and you were saying that you will be using purposive sampling, and you will be looking at people who have certain expertise and so on. So were you thinking about maybe focusing it on a particular industry, in order to get access to certain project managers, or what's your thought? Because I know it's very early stage, but I've got again, I think that probably potentially you would be able to focus on a particular industry maybe here. Have you thought about it?
Yeah, thank you, man. That was a brilliant question. I thought about that, but in terms of getting data from the company where I worked in, they have these rules. They don't share their data with no one, and in terms of collecting data, it's becoming an huge stumbling blocks in terms of collecting data. I'm also thinking of I'm in the banking industry, which I've been speaking with different organizations. I've sent emails to different organizations. Now, here is to start up. And I'm looking into what you said as well. It's something I've been doing. If I'm able to get from a particular sector, I would do that. But if I'm not able to get it, I would just leave it open, and share ideas, make sure I get enough information, to contribute to the existing knowledge. But I'm looking into what you said. Thank you for the observation, ma'am.
But who do you think you will be? Who will be the participant? Will it be like a project managers, or it would be who would you target?
Okay, I'm targeting project managers that have knowledge about my set topic. Now, I'm talking about situational leadership style, which I've registered with Association of Situational Leadership Style. I'm part of their members. So I've sent a couple of emails to most of the members, and they said when it's time to get your data, you can send us an email. We're definitely going to fill it. So I've gotten positive response from the organization, but from the institutional leadership.
Just give me 1 second, please.
Someone interrupted Stiliara.
Sorry, somebody just walked in and disappeared. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I've gotten enough information from the association, but in terms of organization, it's been kind of ups and down, and due to most organizations don't want to release their data, which I quite understand, but I'm still pushing.
Okay. Okay. And you definitely want to do just the quantitative research. You don't want to go into the qualitative.
If that's a good observation as well. If time permits me to do that, which I actually want to do, but for now everything is still restricted to this. But as time goes on, I might decided to bring everything together. This is what I have passion for. I love this, and I really want to do this, and I really want to help my community.
Okay, got it. And I think that the very last question I have, and I'm sorry if I'm asking too many
No,
questions.
I love it. I love it.
I'm doing it just for the really, not because I'm. I think that questions might be helpful. Now the other question I have, when I read your title, and I actually, when I was looking through the document, I've noticed that in that document you have research aim, okay, but you don't have like a major research question. Okay, so what is it you're actually trying to do? You have an aim, which is good, okay, but you obviously developed that aim because you're trying to find something. You're trying to answer a bigger research question.
Yes.
So it would be good if you would formulate a main, research question for your project, which would be like the thesis which you're trying to do, and which you're trying to kind of write up. And and again, of course, you are at the beginning of your journey and everything. But my question is, how are you 100% sure that the gap in the literature, which you mentioned in your presentation and in your Word document, that it's well justified, that there is enough evidence that this gap exists?
Okay.
So in your literature review, there should be kind of a clear emphasis on that's actually which, we don't know yet. And I don't think it's a question, it's maybe more like a comment thing. It's just around that. And I think that should be linked to your bigger question. Again, this is just the form of recommendation which I have. If you have this, and that might even come later in your research, the bigger question. But I think it should be absolutely crystal clear that there is a gap, that there is an evidence of that this gap exists.
Thank you for the observation, and I love your sense of responsibility, and that's just awesome. I've noted it down, and I'm going to take it on board. Thank you so much, ma. Thanks, ma. Much appreciated.
That's it, really. Sorry for being.
We are doing very well with the time as well. In my capacity as the chair, I keep an eye on the time because I'm usually really bad with time. But thanks to Olu, and you're keeping very good time management, and also Diliara's very focused questions and responses. We are now halfway through, and probably we won't need much time anyway. We're going to finish earlier. But what I suggest now is for the student to disconnect. Okay, and now I don't know, because this is actually the first time I see supervisors, so that's why well done, supervisors, that you are supporting the student. Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you allowed to stay or are you not allowed to stay? Can someone help me with that? How does it work?
I'm sure stay would mean we are marking our own homework, so it might be a good idea to step aside and give you.
No problem. Okay, so
just
just disconnect, and I will just stay with Diliara, and we will let you know by a text message, using the chat that we are reconvening. Okay? So
okay,
give us 5 minutes. Okay?
Thank you. We are going.
Thank you.
Yep.
How are you, Sam?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you, Juliana?
I'm all right. Learning something new today.
No, it's really good. It was really good for first years. You know, are you still here?
Say again.
Are you still here?
Oh, do you want me to disconnect as well, sir?
Yes, please. If
Oh,
you could
Yes,
disconnect,
yes.
because
okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.